In a world filled with billionaires, inventors, and powerful businessmen, one man managed to become something completely different, a symbol of the future itself. His name is Elon Musk, a man who dreams of colonizing Mars, merging the human brain with artificial intelligence, building underground cities, replacing gasoline cars with electric vehicles, and transforming humanity into a multi-planetary species. But behind the fame, the billions of dollars, the rockets, and the headlines, there is a dark and unbelievable story of pain, loneliness, obsession, failures, and relentless ambition. Elon Musk was born on June 28, 1971, in Pretoria, South Africa, into a family that looked successful from the outside, but his childhood was far from normal. As a young boy, Elon was quiet, deeply introverted, and obsessed with reading books. While other children played outside, Elon spent countless hours alone reading science fiction novels, encyclopedias, and books about physics and technology. He was so lost in his thoughts that people often believed he could not hear them, but school became a nightmare for him. Elon was severely bullied by classmates. At one point, he was beaten so badly that he had to be hospitalized. Those painful experiences shaped his personality forever. He later admitted that the emotional scars from his childhood stayed with him for years. But instead of breaking him, the pain pushed him toward a different reality, a reality inside computers, science, and imagination. At the age of just 12 years old, Elon taught himself computer programming and created a video game called Blastar, which he sold for around $500. For most children, that would have been an impossible achievement, but for Elon, it was only the beginning. Deep inside his mind, he already believed he was meant to do something massive for humanity. As he grew older, Elon became increasingly obsessed with America, technology, and innovation. He believed the United States was the center of opportunity and progress, so at the age of 17, he left South Africa and moved to Canada before eventually reaching America. His journey was not glamorous. He lived in small apartments, struggled financially, and worked extremely hard just to survive. He attended the University of Pennsylvania, where he studied physics and economics, but Elon was never interested in living a normal life. While many students dreamed about stable jobs, Elon dreamed about changing civilization itself. In the mid-1990s, the internet was beginning to transform the world, and Elon saw the future before most people did. Along with his brother Kimball, he created a company called Zip2, which helped newspapers provide online business directories and maps. At first, nobody believed in the idea. Elon and his brother even slept inside the office because they could not afford rent. They showered at public facilities and worked day and night on coding and business development. But eventually, the company succeeded, and in 1999, Zip2 was sold for nearly $300 million. Elon Musk became a millionaire at a very young age, but unlike most people, he did not stop there. Instead of enjoying luxury and comfort, he immediately invested almost everything into bigger and more dangerous ideas. He founded X.com, an online financial company that would later become PayPal. At that time, digital payments were still a strange concept, and many people doubted whether online banking could ever work safely. But Elon believed the internet would completely change money itself. After intense competition and internal conflicts, PayPal exploded in popularity, and in 2002, the company was bought by eBay for $1.5 billion. Elon personally earned hundreds of millions of dollars. Most people would retire after such success. But Elon Musk was different. Money was never the final goal for him. He wanted power, not political power, but the power to reshape the future of humanity. Instead of protecting his fortune, Elon risked everything on ideas that many experts considered impossible. One of those ideas was space exploration. Elon believed humanity was in danger if it remained dependent on a single planet. He feared disasters like nuclear war, climate collapse, or asteroid impacts could eventually destroy civilization. His solution sounded insane. Humans needed to become a multiplanetary species. In 2002, he founded SpaceX with the goal of making rockets cheaper and eventually building cities on Mars. At that time, the space industry was dominated by governments and giant corporations, and many experts laughed at Elon Musk. People called him crazy, arrogant, and unrealistic. But Elon ignored the criticism and invested almost all of his PayPal fortune into SpaceX. The early years were a disaster. Rockets exploded repeatedly. Millions of dollars vanished within seconds. The company came dangerously close to bankruptcy. Friends and investors lost confidence. The media mocked him constantly. But Elon refused to quit. Then came another impossible dream: electric cars. In the early 2000s, most people believed electric vehicles were ugly, weak, slow, and impractical. But Elon believed gasoline cars were destroying the environment and that the future belonged to clean energy. He joined Tesla and transformed it into one of the most ambitious automotive companies in history. Yet once again, the journey was brutal. Tesla nearly collapsed multiple times. Production problems, financial crises, engineering failures, and public criticism pushed the company to the edge of destruction. In 2008, Elon Musk faced the worst year of his life. SpaceX launches were failing, Tesla was losing money rapidly, and Elon himself was almost broke despite once being worth hundreds of millions. He later admitted that he believed he might lose everything. During this dark period, he experienced extreme stress, sleepless nights, and emotional exhaustion. But then, everything changed. After 3 failed launches, SpaceX finally succeeded with the Falcon 1 rocket. It became the first privately developed liquid-fueled rocket to reach orbit. Shortly after, NASA awarded SpaceX a massive contract worth billions of dollars. That single moment saved the company from collapse and changed the history of private space travel forever. At the same time, Tesla slowly began proving that electric cars could actually be powerful, beautiful, and revolutionary. The launch of the Tesla Roadster shocked the automotive industry. Suddenly, electric vehicles were no longer boring machines, they became symbols of innovation and status. Elon Musk was no longer just an entrepreneur. He was becoming one of the most controversial and influential figures on Earth. His personality fascinated millions of people. Some viewed him as a genius visionary similar to Steve Jobs or Nikola Tesla, while others saw him as reckless, arrogant, and dangerously unpredictable. His intense work ethic became legendary. Employees described brutal working hours, impossible deadlines, and enormous pressure inside his companies. Elon himself often slept on factory floors and worked nearly every waking hour. He expected others to match his obsession. Yet, despite the criticism, his companies continued growing rapidly. Tesla expanded globally, building massive gigafactories and pushing traditional car companies into panic mode. SpaceX achieved what many believed impossible. The company developed reusable rockets capable of landing vertically back on Earth, dramatically reducing the cost of space missions. Around the world, people watched in amazement as rockets descended from the sky like scenes from science fiction movies. Suddenly, Elon Musk was no longer just building companies, he was reshaping entire industries. But for Elon, even that was not enough. He began speaking openly about artificial intelligence, warning that advanced AI could become humanity's greatest existential threat. Ironically, while warning about AI dangers, he also invested heavily in AI technologies. He launched companies like Neuralink, which aimed to connect the human brain directly to computers, and the Boring Company, which planned underground transportation tunnels beneath major cities. To some people, these ideas sounded revolutionary. To others, they sounded terrifying. Elon Musk slowly transformed into more than just a businessman. He became a symbol of humanity's uncertain future itself. As Elon Musk's power and influence continued to grow, the world became divided about who he really was. Was he humanity's greatest innovator, or a dangerously ambitious billionaire trying to control the future? By the late 2010s, Tesla had transformed from a struggling startup into one of the most valuable companies in the world. Elon Musk's wealth exploded beyond imagination, eventually making him the richest man on Earth. But unlike traditional billionaires who preferred luxury and silence, Elon thrived in chaos, controversy, and attention. His social media presence became almost as famous as his company's. Millions of people followed every tweet, every interview, and every unpredictable statement he made. One moment he was discussing artificial intelligence and the survival of humanity, and the next moment he was posting memes or arguing with critics online. This unusual behavior made Elon Musk one of the most controversial public figures of the modern era. Governments, journalists, investors, and even his own supporters often struggled to understand him. Yet despite all the controversies, his companies kept achieving what experts once called impossible. SpaceX continued rewriting the history of space travel. The Falcon rockets became symbols of a new era where private companies could compete with entire governments. Then came one of Elon's greatest achievements, the creation of Starship, the massive spacecraft designed to carry humans to Mars. Elon openly declared that his ultimate mission was not money, fame, or luxury, it was survival of civilization itself. He believed Earth would not remain safe forever and that humanity needed a backup planet before disaster eventually struck. Critics call the idea unrealistic fantasy, but Elon remained obsessed with Mars colonization. He imagined giant cities under glass domes, millions of humans living on another planet, and rockets traveling between Earth and Mars like airplanes. To many people, it sounded like science fiction. But Elon Musk had already turned multiple impossible dreams into reality before. Meanwhile, Tesla continued dominating the electric vehicle revolution. Traditional car companies that once laughed at electric vehicles suddenly found themselves desperately trying to catch up. Tesla factories expanded across countries, self-driving technology advanced rapidly, and Elon became the face of the global clean energy movement. Yet behind the success, enormous pressure remained. Tesla faced lawsuits, production problems, safety investigations, market crashes, and constant criticism from the media. Elon himself admitted that running multiple giant companies simultaneously caused extreme mental stress. There were moments when he barely slept, worked nonstop for days, and felt completely overwhelmed by responsibility. But perhaps what made Elon Musk truly different was his willingness to risk everything repeatedly. Most wealthy people protect their fortunes carefully. Elon constantly gambled his money, reputation, and companies on ideas others considered madness. That same mentality eventually led him into one of the most shocking business moves of his career, purchasing Twitter. In 2022, Elon Musk bought the social media platform and later renamed it X. The decision shocked the world. Some people celebrated him as a defender of free speech, while others accused him of spreading chaos and misinformation. Major advertisers left the platform, employees were fired in massive numbers, and critics claimed Elon was destroying the company. But Elon insisted that controlling digital communication was essential for the future of civilization. Once again, the world watched as he attempted to reshape another massive industry. At the same time, Elon's interest in artificial intelligence became even more intense. He repeatedly warned that advanced AI could become more dangerous than nuclear weapons if left uncontrolled. Yet, he also believed humanity must continue developing AI in order to survive. This contradiction made Elon Musk appear both visionary and deeply complex. Through Neuralink, he explored technology capable of linking the human brain directly with computers. The company aimed to help disabled patients regain movement and communication abilities, but Elon also imagined a future where humans could merge with artificial intelligence itself. To supporters, these ideas represented the next step of human evolution. To critics, they sounded frightening and ethically dangerous, but Elon Musk rarely allowed fear or criticism to slow him down. His mindset was simple. If something could change humanity's future, then it was worth pursuing no matter how impossible or controversial it seemed. Over time, Elon Musk became more than just a businessman or engineer. He became a cultural phenomenon. Millions admired his intelligence, ambition, and fearless thinking. Others feared the enormous influence he held over technology, transportation, communication, artificial intelligence, and even space exploration. Some compared him to historical innovators like Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, while others warned that no single billionaire should possess so much power over humanity's future. Yet regardless of public opinion, Elon Musk undeniably changed the modern world. He forced the automotive industry toward electric vehicles. He revived global excitement about space travel. He pushed artificial intelligence into mainstream discussion. He transformed internet culture and social media conversations. And perhaps most importantly, he convinced millions of people that impossible ideas could become reality through obsession, risk-taking, and relentless determination. But Elon Musk's story is still far from over. Even today, he continues chasing dreams that sound unbelievable, building human colonies on Mars, creating fully autonomous robots, developing brain-machine interfaces, and transforming civilization through advanced technology. Some people believe he will lead humanity into a golden future of innovation and discovery. Others fear his influence could create dangerous consequences humanity is not prepared for. But whether people love him or hate him, one thing is certain: Elon Musk has already left a permanent mark on human history. From a lonely bullied child in South Africa to the richest and most influential tech entrepreneur on Earth, his journey became one of the most extraordinary success stories of the modern age. And perhaps somewhere in the darkness of space, beyond Earth's atmosphere, Elon Musk is still looking toward Mars, imagining the day when humanity finally becomes a species that no longer belongs to just one planet,